Okay, today's orientation. Tomorrow at 10, we're going to have residence, mail, and driver's license. I'm going to do that one. Friday is the work camping seminar. Becky Shade's going to do that one. Becky, are you here? I know Becky's splitting her time with us and the escapees. And so she's doing that tomorrow at 10. Saturday at 10 is solar. Jim Barnaby and I will do that. Sunday is the boondocking seminar. Carolyn, gadgets and cooking methods, show and tell. That's one you do need to know about. That's show and tell, literally. Bring your favorite cooking gadget. There are a lot of different ways to cook if you're in a car or a van or even an RV. There are a lot of different ways to cook, and so if you have an unusual method that people may not know about, bring the method and show them. And we'll all...
What time?
And then also, we used to have 2 different seminars. We're combining them into one. Your favorite gadget. Whatever your favorite gadget is. It's mostly electronics, but not always. It's all kinds of things. Whatever the gadget you have that makes your life on wheels better, bring it. It will be show and tell. That was on Monday. Tuesday is changed. On my schedule still says the insurance seminar. That has changed. It should be, Casey, that's updated on the website. The website, cheaprvliving.com/RTR, will always be the most up to date. If we print them out, they're out of date as soon as we start. Yeah, if you go to that page and scroll down, you'll see it. It's probably halfway. It's a long page, but it's still about halfway down that page. cheaprvliving.com/RTR. So that has changed, and Gunnar is going to speak. You want to just stand up and say hi? Gunnar is a retired San Diego County deputy sheriff. And thank you for your service. I mean, that is service. And so he's going to give us a safety seminar for nomads. Tuesday at 10. Tuesday at 10. Okay, on Wednesday the 16th is the tin can seminar. Tin can seminar, we'll put out a tin can, probably over by the, well, maybe up here. I don't know where we're going to put it. We'll figure it out. The tin can seminar is you write out your question and the group will answer it. And you know, we have answers for most of your questions. So don't write, how do I poop in a bucket? I mean, that's not the kind of thing. More philosophical, personal, things that we would not normally talk about. So, is being a nomad being a leech? I mean, that's the kind of philosophical question. Or this one comes up almost every year. How do I date when I live on the road? Or, you know, the kind of things that we don't normally talk about in videos. And again, we'll give you the answers. We're going to have handheld mics, and because the problem is you can't ever hear anyone's answer. So we're going to have handheld mics, and we'll go around, and you'll have a mic when you give your answer. So I'll let you know firmly where the tin can will be. We'll have a pad out with it. Just fill it out with a question, drop it in the tin can, and we'll answer. You will answer your questions because there's a lot of experience here. All right, what's next? On Thursday at the 17th, we're going to talk about the nonprofit that we've just started, the 501c3, Homes on Wheels Alliance, what it is, what we're doing, how you can participate. And it is not something that we can do. It's a group participation. So we'll do that. Friday is James from Northern Arizona Wind and Sun, and that will be a bit more of an advanced topics on solar. James is a real expert on solar. He's the guy you call, I'm not making a penny. Let me make sure you understand that right now. I'm not getting a penny from this. I think from a reputable dealer, you cannot beat Northern Arizona Wind and Sun's prices. That's why I promote them, because you can get a deal. The only question I ever ask before I do anything is this good for the community? It's never will I make money on it, because I don't want to and don't need to make money on it. Is this good for the community? And I believe Northern Arizona Wind and Sun is good for this community. So that's why I tell you about it, and that's why he will be here. I think it's just going to cover more advanced topics, specifically lithium, because that's a big topic. It's a little more advanced, but almost anything, just not the nuts and bolts, what's a controller, more advanced than that. Okay. Saturday, we didn't schedule a thing, and I've always made it a point not to schedule anything, so you can go to the big tent. The big tent. What is the big tent? That's always the question we get. The big tent is literally a big tent. It's already up. If you go down, there's the toilets. Let's give the toilets a hand. So that answers the question, will there be toilets? There will be toilets. There is a dumpster, and we like to scatter them around, and they would not let us scatter them around. They wanted 2 banks. We brought in 20 toilets, and they're going to be in 2 banks of 10. So that's just what they insisted on doing. And obviously, one of the banks is going to be right over here. That way, you're at the seminar and away from your rig, and nature calls, you can answer. The big tent. So the big tent is what the really bad dirt paved road you drove in on. Depends on who you're listening to. It's either Kuhn, which is what the street sign says, or Dome Rock Road East, which is what Google says. You take that road all the way down to the light. Don't get off that road. And if you look kitty corner to your left, you'll see the big tent. That's where it is. It's just a huge tent selling stuff. Lots of stuff. But the reason we care about it, we all like stuff, but that's not the reason we care. The reason we care is there will be multiple vendors from around the country hiring. And I don't think I know anyone that went there to get a job that didn't get one. They're hiring, and they're hiring a lot. So it's particularly Amazon will have a booth there. The Beet Harvest has had a booth there in the past. And multiple vendors for the National Forest campgrounds have had tents there. And you can sign up, you can get an interview. I mean, you can get an interview and walk away with a job right there. And so if nothing else, you get a lot of information and how to proceed. So that's why I timed this event around the big tent, so you can go and look at getting a job if you need a job, and many of us do. Okay, so that's the big tent and why I don't schedule anything on that day. Yes, we believe they open at 9. And that night is the burning van, and the main fire pit is over here. That's right, Matt. That's the main fire pit. The main fire pit is over here. We're going to burn the van. And this is on our schedule every year, burning van. And so the BLM, someone had told the BLM, those people are going to burn vans out there. This actually happened. And so the BLM called Jude and said, "Are you guys going to burn a van?" And Jude said, "Yes, but it'll be cardboard." So we're going to burn a cardboard van. And so that will be Saturday at 7 p.m. at the main fire pit. Second Saturday. And then that's it. Sunday we're done, and that day is just clean up and everyone. Jude, why don't you come up? To be heaped with praise. Jude asked, why should she come up? And Maddie. Where's Maddie? Maddie's around here. Maddie's hiding out. Come up, because I didn't do any of this. Okay, I don't get any of the credit for the amazing thing you see around you. I didn't do it. Jude did this, and Matt and Maddie. And so I want them to get all the praise and thanks. You want to say something?
This is an amazing crowd, and you guys every year it just gets better and better. And I just anticipate that this is going to be as good as every other one. And I can't tell you how many people you're going to meet, how many friends you're going to make, how much you're going to learn. And you will walk away hopefully you will walk away with a renewed thought of how your life should be and a renewed spirit. Because this is really, really an awesome thing. And while I'm up here, I have to thank my volunteers. I think, the best. And I've done a lot of events, I have the best volunteers I think I've ever had. They have been hardworking, and they're just doing an awesome job. So.
Now, when I say I don't get any of the credit, I mean that literally. My only job here was to worry and whine and complain. And Jude was to solve all the problems that I was worrying and whining and complaining about. So she did it all. I cannot tell you that enough, how much every bit of the credit for what everything good thing you're seeing around you goes to her. Thank you, Jude. Well, that's just the beginning of the announcements. We can spend the whole event standing here doing announcements. There are a few announcements I really have to get out, I think. I'm sorry about all this. I don't like the announcements any more than you do, but we got to kind of do them. At the RTR, on all BLM land, it's actually a requirement that dogs be on leash. However, there's not a ranger around or a law enforcement officer. There will be rangers and law enforcement officers around here. And you can't have this many people and this many dogs in this small a spot without dogs being on a leash. Your dogs absolutely must be on a leash. Cody will be on a leash the whole time. When I leave here, and I'm going to walk away out into the desert every morning, and Cody will be off leash. And if you do that, you can do that too. Because I'm not around people. There's no one for him to scare. There's no one for him to bite. There's no other dogs for him to fight with. So you are all welcome to go off into the desert and get your dogs off leash. That's what I do. Because I hate my dog being on a leash. But your dog absolutely must be on a leash. We already had someone bit. This is stressful for your dog. And your dog may never have showed the slightest aggression ever before. But this is stressful for your dog. All these dogs around him, all of a sudden he's on a leash, all these people around him. Your dog gets stressed out and it acts like not like himself or herself. So remember that your dog is under a lot of stress here and can surprise you. Control your animal, control your dog. Pick up after your dog. We got, how many dogs have we got running around here? And they're all going to poop once or twice a day. And where are they going to poop? All under our feet. So no one wants to step in your dog's poop. I don't want to step in your dog's poop. And so I don't want you to step in my dog's poop. So I got Walmart bags with me at all times to... no, I can't get it out of that pocket. I'll get it out of my other pocket. I've got a Walmart bag, 2 Walmart bags with me at all times. Sometimes he surprises me and goes twice. So 2 Walmart bags with me at all times. I don't want you to have to step in my dog's poop. And I don't want to step in yours. Pick up your dog's poop. So the free pile is over there. It's free. Please take it. But you cannot take your dogs into the free pile. Why? Because dogs like to pee on things. And my dog is the biggest peer of all dogs. He's the king of the peers, so he doesn't get to go in there either. Don't let your dog in on the... We've moved up onto tables. We bought tables for it because dogs were peeing on the clothes that we were trying to give away and help people. If you have free stuff, bring it to the free pile. And now we're trying to avoid rules as much as we can. A few just have to be in place. There are people here who, at the end of the month, don't have enough food to eat. And there are a surprising number of people here like that. There are also a lot of people here who, at the end of the month, they don't have a lot extra, but they have extra. They're never going to wonder if they're going to have enough food to eat. And everyone here, this is a question. Who here loves a deal? Who here loves free stuff? So, I love free stuff. And I would never buy this, but if it's free, I'm going to take it. And then carry it around in my van. And then can't get rid of it. Well, it was free. It was a deal. And so, if at the end of the month you would all love to have the free stuff that's over there. But what my point is that just because we all love a deal, there are still people who need that more than me. And so I just make it a rule of thumb not to take anything from the free pile because I don't need anything. If I need something, I go buy it. There are people here that cannot do that, even with what they need. It's up to you. No one will tell you what to do. It's your decision, but keep that in mind. That's all I can ask. We're just asking that. Okay, that's enough of that. All right, now this is one of the things that's new this year. We're not on 14-day land. We've always been 14-day lands. The BLM has something called dispersed camping. Almost all public land does. But that means that you can just go camp on it almost anywhere you want, and very few limitations. And that's 14-day land. You can only camp there for 14 days. There are almost no rules about it. I mean, just common sense rules. I mean, the ones that always apply. But this is not 14-day land. This is no camping land. This land was only open to us for this event, and as soon as we're done, it will be closed, and you will not be allowed to camp here again. If you continue to camp here, they will ticket you. So this is not 14-day land. Because it's not 14-day land, it operates under the rules of a campground. It's kind of either one or the other, campground rules or 14-day land rule. And as a campground rules, it's standard campground rules. That means the same thing with quiet time. Nearly every campground, it's 10 to 6 or 10 to 7. Just don't wake up your neighbor. Just think about your neighbor. So no generators from 10 to 7. No loud music, no loud noise. Just be quiet. People want to go to sleep. It's been a long, hard, busy day. They want to go to sleep. Don't wake them up. Don't keep them awake. So it's just that simple. It's always just kindness and consideration. That's all we promote. That's what we promote. Compassion and generosity. A generous heart, a generous spirit, caring about someone else, being cared about, allowing the other person to care about you and to receive from them as well. And so if we all do that, we won't have to worry about rules. We shouldn't have to worry about rules. It should just be an automatic thing. I don't keep up my neighbors awake all night with my generator and my music. To my mind, that's what you do when you care about someone besides yourself. So that's what we're asking. And in fact, that's the rules. Dogs must always be on a leash. The van song, there is a van song posted over there. Take a picture of it. Have it on your phone. Learn the van song. Who can sing the van song? I don't think we have some of us who know the song. Campfires. Let's talk about campfires. Yes, you may build your own campfire. You can set up your own ring, but because this is not 14-day land, they are asking that you tear down your ring and leave it looking the way you found it. Leave no trace. Basically, want you to follow, leave no trace when you leave here. The last day is a cleanup where we clean up not just what we brought in, but even more than what we found, so that we're leaving it cleaner than we found it. That's the leave no trace principle, the heart of it. Just leave it cleaner than you found it. And so, thank you. You cannot burn native wood. So you cannot go out into the washes and pick up dead or cut down. You certainly cannot cut down anywhere, but you can't even pick up dead out in the washes and burn it. That's actually illegal. Now, a lot of you just think, oh, that's the nanny state and that's the government overreach and that's just ridiculous and preposterous. It isn't. If we come in here and burn off all the organic material on the ground, and I was a campground host for 4 years, and I can guarantee you that's what happens in a campground. If we burn off all the organic material that's here, in 100 years, there won't be any growth here, because that's how long it takes for organic material to break down, get into the soil, and allow new growth. If we do that, we will decimate. This will all be a desert with no green in it if we take out all the organic material. So it's not just the rule, it's not just the law, it's common decency to the earth, to let the earth thrive and continue. If we declare war on the earth, which we've done, there's only going to be one loser in the long run, and we're seeing that daily. So that's illegal. Don't do it. Go buy your firewood. You're welcome to go into town and buy our firewood. We will provide $100 worth of firewood at the main fire pit, and then after that, we'll all just have to contribute. And don't come and get firewood from the main firewood. That's for everyone, and take it to your camp and burn it. Just leave it there. Oh yeah, if you want to give us donations for the firewood, then we'll go pick it up, because you're not going to go. So yes, if you want to. We gave the first free $100. You can bring your own. Just take a bundle over there and throw it down. And if we all did that, that would take care of it. And if you're going over there and enjoying the fire, you probably should do that anyway. And if not, you can give a donation to us and we'll get a take-it truck. That might be the problem for a lot of you, is how do you get it here? And we'll take a truck and pick up more. Speaking of donations, and people always tell me I'm doing this for the money and I'm a money grubber. I'm going to buy a yacht and sail off into the sunset. Well, I'm not going to sail off into the sunset with a yacht. This thing has gotten so wildly out of hand. It's very expensive. This event, what you're looking around, those porta potties over there, they're not giving those away. I'm paying quite a bit for those porta potties. And so it costs an awful lot of money, and I'm more than willing to pay it. I'm prepared to pay every penny of it, and gladly do so. But I wouldn't hurt my feelings if you paid for some of it with donations. And so there is a donation box attached to the bulletin board. So if you go over there and you want to make a donation, you can make a donation at the bulletin board in the lockbox. Just put it, whatever you, if we all put in $1, we'd go a long ways towards paying for it. And so we put in 10 or 20 and we might pay for it. And also at the button table, there will be a donation box. This year, over, right behind me, right there, is a table for Homes on Wheels Alliance. That's the nonprofit I've started. We'll talk about that later. I won't talk about it now. I've got big plans. I'm out to change the world. I don't want to. I don't want to buy a yacht and sail off into the sunset. That has no interest in me whatsoever. I want to change the world. I want to change the world we live in. I want to change this country. I want to change people's lives. And it takes an organization to do that. You've spent $20,000? I thought it was only going to be a couple hundred. No, I knew how much it was going to be the whole time. Yeah, I think we're up to about $20,000 now. It's just, these things don't just happen. You don't have 5,000 people, 10,000 people in the desert without spending some money. A lot of you can't afford it. If you can't afford it, don't give. We're here to serve you. You're not here to serve us. We are here to serve you. And that's what we're going to do. And money doesn't play into that. That's what we're going to do. But at the same time, wouldn't mind if we covered some of our costs. Okay, we'll stop there. All right, so we have a topic for today, and that's orientation to Quartzsite. So where is everything? Where do you go to find things? I'm just going to really, I need someone else to do this in the future because I'm talking way too much. Let's just go down the list. You need food. There's 3 main grocery stores in town. On Main Street. Everything we're going to talk about is on Main Street almost. On Main Street, on the east end of town, is the Family Dollar, the Roadrunner Market, and Coyote. And those 3 are your main grocery stores in town, and Dollar General on the other end of town, and the big market on the other end of town. So those are where you buy groceries? Yep.
In Tyson Wells, there's a big tent that is a grocery liquidator.
Yes. There are several big tent liquidators, not in big tent, out in the vendors' booths where they have scratch and dent and out of date, and they're cheap. And every year when I get into Quartzsite, I go to 2 places immediately. It's the Scratch and Dent Food and KB Tools out in Tyson Wells, and they're right beside each other. And I go there first, and the last place I always leave before I leave Quartzsite is the Scratch and Dent Groceries and KB Tools. Those are my 2 favorite places in Quartzsite. Otherwise, you can go to get on Interstate 10, go directly west, and you'll end up in Blythe. And there's good shopping out there. Smart and Final is very reasonably priced, just over the border into California at Blythe, and also Albertsons. So you can just Google search Smart and Final, Blythe, California, Albertsons, Blythe, California, and Google will take you right to them. The nearest Walmart is Parker, about 45 miles away. That shopping in Blythe is about 28 miles away. The nearest Walmart is about 45 miles north of here on 95. Just get on 95, go north. You'll run into Parker. There's a Walmart and a Safeway. Those are your 2 best prices, of course. Okay, so that's food, water. If you're just buying purified water, then I just go to one of the vending machines in town. There are vending machines everywhere. You can't throw a rock without hitting a vending machine. And they're a quarter each, varying. They're anywhere from 20 to 30 cents a gallon each. To buy, if you're an RV, you're going to need to dump and get water. The dumping water stations everywhere in town. The big one is RV Pit Stop, just a little bit north on 95 from Main Street on the right. They're the big one. They're probably the cheapest. They're really cheap water. They have nickel water that's unfiltered. It's deep well water, but it's highly mineralized. And it's highly mineralized. It's not filtered, but it's deep well water. And it's the nickel a gallon. And then they have filtered water, which I believe is either 20 or 25, and I've forgotten. They have a dump station. You can buy your propane there. You can do it all at once. And they're going to be very, very busy. And they'll get really, really, really super busy as we get closer to the big tent. Dump stations all over town. You can't miss them. They're just, you can't throw a rock without hitting a dump station and get water for your RV. Trash, we do the dumpster for the first time this year, but there is a public dump. It's open Sunday through Wednesday. I don't know when it opens, must be 7 or 8, but it closes at 2, public dump. If you have big stuff, please don't put big stuff in the dumpster. Don't fill up the dumpster. If you have a lot of stuff, just hold on to it. Take it to the dump. It's actually the transfer station. So if you do a Google search on transfer station, Quartzsite, Arizona, it should come up. It's just north of town. There's a great big tower. As you're driving north on 95 towards Parker, there's a great big tower on your left. You can't miss it. Just as you leave town, you'll see it. And the turn-in is just before it. And so if you have a lot of stuff, don't fill the dumpster up. This is for all of us to put in small amounts. And if you have a big amount, take it to the transfer station.
No hazardous materials in there either, or batteries?
Yeah, no hazardous materials. That's usually a problem. This is a small transfer station, so they're not set up to do everything.
How much does the dump cost?
It's free. Absolutely free. Yep. Okay, so trash, water, what else do you need to know about? Showers. A lot of us only want showers. There are more shower places than ever. The one that's most, well, all the truck stops, both Pilot and Loves, have showers. They're expensive. They're always really clean. They'll be busy this time of the year, but they're expensive. Two can go for the price of one if you're a couple. It's $6 each, $12, or that's what it was last time I got one. I mean, seriously, you can go in at once. So that's actually makes it a pretty reasonable price for a clean shower. Is the two truck stops, of course, they'll be very, very busy. They're hard to get in and out of this time of the year. I don't recommend them because of that. It's just so hard to get in and out of. And go in the evening. If you go in the evening, boy, it'll be easy. Go in at any kind of normal daytime hours, and it'll be really, really hard to get in and out. The big one beyond the truck stops is the laundromat. There's multiple laundromats, but there's one that is the laundromat, and it's Main Street Eatery. It's a laundromat and a restaurant and showers and Wi-Fi. You can sit outside and get free Wi-Fi. So the porta potties are now open, and we'll have a mass exodus. Nice talking to you. The porta potties are open. Let's talk about porta potties. We've got a dumpster. So we have a dumpster. Let's go over this. This is complicated. We have a dumpster for trash, and we have porta potties. Where will we put our trash?
In the dumpster.
In dumpsters. We've got it. Well, let's cover it again. We've got dumpsters for trash and porta potties. Where will we put our trash?
In the dumpster.
In the dumpsters, yes. We will do that always. We won't throw our cigarette butts in there. We won't throw pop cans in there. I've been a campground host for 4 years and seeing what people throw in the outhouses, it was pretty amazing. Don't put anything in the trash. Don't put anything in the dumpsters except your bodily waste and toilet paper. Nothing else. And the toilet. Yes. Well, okay. So let's another couple things we want to cover about the porta potties. We love talking about poop, don't we? You cannot get a bunch of van dwellers together very long before we're going to have a long, involved discussion about poop. And that's just the way it is. So let's talk about poop. Where does dog poop go? Dumpster. Human poop? Dog poop. Is there anyone that's confused by that? And also, if you if you're using a composting toilet or a 5-gallon bucket, you must, that's what we're talking about. You must not bring that over and put it in the porta potties. So showers. We're still talking about showers. So there's also 2 new places in town now this year that I don't remember before. Down beside the Family Dollar, I think it's right beside the Family Dollar, and beside it is a beauty parlor, and they have showers for $6. So and they probably won't be as busy because they're brand new. And on Kuhn Road, the really bad road that you drove in with paved, that's worse than paved, that's Kuhn. And down on the right before 95 is Rose. That's his name, right? Rose? Yeah. I think it's an RV park. Yeah. And they're offering showers for $5. Is that correct? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's $5. And they have 2 mannequins outside, 2 blonde mannequins, and so they're pretty obvious. And so you can go down there and get a shower there. I think that's the only places I know of in town. Okay, propane. Propane's everywhere in town. RV Pit Stop will probably be the number 1. And, you know, almost the gas stations all offer propane. It's really, propane's very, very easy to find. Just keep your eye out. There'll be a sign for, I think it's going for around $2.30 a gallon, between $2 and $2.30, maybe up to $2.50 a gallon in town. Lots of propane. RV Pit Stop is your big one. That's where most of you will go. But most places have it. Okay, what else haven't I covered that you need to know about Quartzsite? Where to shop, where to do things. Have we covered Quartzsite pretty well? What else? What other questions didn't I answer? Library. Okay, let's talk about the library. Oh, and there's another one too. Wi-Fi. Let's just call it Wi-Fi, and we'll lump the library in with it. There's a lot of free Wi-Fi. As we get closer to the big tent, there will be 500,000 people in the desert. Between 250,000 and 500,000 people in the desert around Quartzsite. The towers are going to slow down to a crawl. I'm just going to warn you now. They will, and no point in calling AT&T or Verizon. They're just going to slow down to a crawl. Too many people's using them. Not enough towers. And so there's a lot of free Wi-Fi. It's not, most of them aren't speed demons themselves. The biggest would be the library, and it's on Plymouth Road, and you go down to on the east end of town, Main Street, and then keep going east on Main Street, 95, keep going on east on Main Street, and there's the Family Dollar and Discount Solar, and Plymouth Road is in between them. You turn left, go north, and it's up there on the right. Of course, you could just pull out your phone, hit Google, and say Public Library, Quartzsite, Arizona, and it'll direct you right there. They have darn good Wi-Fi, and you can go in, get the code, you can sit out in your rig and be on Wi-Fi. All the Wi-Fi is kind of everywhere. The laundromat has free Wi-Fi. It'll be crowded, everyone uses it. And all the fast foods have free Wi-Fi, and it's just kind of everywhere. What was the other one we were going to talk about? I'll tell you about public services. Charitable services. Quartzsite is really set up for charitable services. If you need help, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you need help, we want you to be able to find it. Project is one of them. And I don't know how to give you directions to it. You can just Google, I'm sure. Will someone do that for me right now? Google Isaiah Project, Quartzsite, Arizona. And that is an organization well worth supporting, and they do a lot of great things. If you need help, go down there and they will help you. And I would really encourage you. Of course, our job here is to help each other, isn't it? And so we should be taking care of each other here. We can't do commerce. I guess I should cover this. We cannot do commerce here. You need a permit on BLM land to sell a service. So you can't sell anything. But you can do things for free. And so if you know of someone who needs help, help them. Just whoever it is and whatever it is. That's what we're here for. That's what this whole thing is about. And on the bulletin board, we have one of the boards is specifically for people who need things. When we were smaller, I used to, at these events, I would have people stand up and say, I need someone to make me a bed. I need someone to turn my chair around. And she'd say she needed a bed, and she would say, I can help you with that. And they'd go away and they'd do it. We're too big to do that anymore. That's what the bulletin board is for. If you need help, if you need a project done, We're going to do a minivan build, but it's just all going to be one-to-one. Right, the food bank is right there beside Isaiah Project, and the senior center is right beside it. Now, Quartzsite really has an excellent social services safety net, really excellent. And if you need it, we want you to take advantage of it. So just Google Isaiah Project or Quartzsite Senior Center or Quartzsite Salvation Army. They're all there in one little area. And go there and get help. What were we just talking about? Was anyone paying attention?
No problem.
This is a test.
No
There will be a test. It'll be done one-to-one. So if you are a guy with some, or a gal with some skills, some time, some tools, go to the bulletin board, see who needs some help, and go help. And that way, needs will be met and lives will be changed. And that's the goal of everything we do here, is that lives be changed. And I can do a little bit standing up here, but you sitting there in your camp, shaking hands and smiling and being friendly and sharing your knowledge and your skill and your caring and your compassion. You can change the world. My only job is here to put you together. That's my only job. And you're going to change the world. And between us, we will. We can. Okay, I think I'm done. Where do I get the permit? It's yes. This is Bureau of Land Management manages this land. They operate it, and you and I are the owners, but we hire them to be our property managers. It's just like if we had a timeshare in Hawaii. Well, you and I are the owners. We bought it, but we don't paint it. We don't buy the microwave, and when we go to the timeshare, we don't get to destroy it. And so, yes, you and I own this land. No one else owns this land but you and I. But we've hired a property manager, and the property manager's primary job is to keep the owners from destroying it. And so that makes the owners mad sometimes. But if you go in, we have a timeshare, and you go in and destroy the microwave, and I come in next time and you've destroyed the microwave and now I can't use it, well, we should be mad at you and not the property manager who says don't destroy the property. So I'm not mad at the BLM. One of the ways the BLM manages the land is to say there's plenty of open land out there. Let's save this land for recreation and not for camping. And so this land is closed to camping, and it's open just for this specific purpose, this specific time frame. And I'm responsible for it. I've signed for it. I got a permit from the BLM. I signed a document. I bought insurance, and I said I will be responsible if we do any damage. If I go into the timeshare and destroy the microwave, they'll send me a bill. And so, yes, this I have a permit with the BLM to do. So if we're here for 14 days, can I then just leave here and go across the street and camp there for 14 days? And will still be legal? And no, it will not. It's this area, it's this district. You have to leave here after the end of our 14 days. Legally, you have to leave 28 miles, which there's a lot of, there's a huge amount of BLM land within 28 miles of here. But legally, yes, you must leave here at the end of the 14. If you've been here 14 days, you must be gone for 14 more days, and then you can come back.
Unless they are in the LTVA.
Right. Now you can, and this is something I kind of recommend people do. You can go to the LTVAs. What's an LTVA? Long-term visitor area. That's for if you want to come here and not have to move every 14 days, you can go to the long-term visitor area, and they will, you can pay $180 for 7 months. And that means you can sit in exactly the same spot for 7 months straight, if you can endure the heat at the beginning and the end of that 7 months. And you can sit there for that 7 months and never have to move, and you're perfectly legal. But they will also, but most of us can't endure that heat. It's just too hot at the beginning and the end of the 7 months in an RV or a van or a tent. And so what you can do instead is pay $40 for 2 weeks. And at first your thought is $40 for 2 weeks, that's terrible. But you could be 2 weeks on the LTVA, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks at the LTVA, 2 weeks here. So I just described 2 months, and you will have driven 10 miles. You'll driven your RV 10 miles maybe each time you moved. You won't hardly put any miles in your RV, and it will have cost you $80 for 2 months, and that's pretty cheap. That's not bad. And for that $80, you get they don't have water. They have water. And for your $80 for 2 months, you would have gotten a dump for your RV. You would have gotten, yeah, they have water, of course, and trash, water, dump, and trash, and you can stay there. Well, they have pit toilets, yes, yeah, and it's good at all the LTVAs, not just the ones here in Quartzsite. So there are LTVAs down at Yuma. There's some over in Blythe. There's some in Holtville, California. The desert of California and Arizona both have quite a few. And some of them even have, there's one of them, and I don't know which one it is, actually has showers. Yeah. You cannot do that today because the government shut down. But if they open tomorrow, you can do it tomorrow. Until the government opens up, we cannot issue permits. That's why you can't go out to the LTVA today, is because of the government shutdown. They're not open. In fact, you cannot go in now. Well, you'd be illegal. You can, but you'll be breaking the law, and if you get caught, you could be fined. At the LTVAs, that was only for the LTVAs, what I just said. We're not issuing permits yet because we can't. They haven't been here to, we haven't gotten the training. We don't have the physical permits. We're not doing permits yet. If they reopen tomorrow, we'll start soon thereafter. Yes?
The $180 that you pay for the LTVA, can you stay at different ones during that period or just one?
No, and that's the great thing about them. You can go to many of them. They're across California and Arizona, and some of them are. There's one down on the water, down at Yuma. You can actually camp on the water.
So you can go from one to one during that period.
That whole time, your LTVA sticker on your rig gets you in all the LTVAs. Yes, it's a pretty good deal. Even the 180 for the whole time. September 15th to April 15th. I think most of us are curious. I'm really interested to know how many people are actually here. So, yeah, even if you're out on 14-day land, get your permit here. I'll repeat your question. You tell me if I got it right. So you leave here, and you never got a permit because they're not issuing them. Do you then have to get another permit? Is that your question? Or can you stay here for another 14 days? I don't know. I'm not a BLM officer. I don't know. No one. There are two questions. There are two answers. Can you do it legally and morally or ethically? And can you get away with it? You can almost certainly get away with it. They're not keeping track now. So can you get away with it? Yes. If they don't open the permit office for another week, go down and you've been here for a month. Can you get away with it? Yes, you almost certainly can. Go and get another permit and be here 14 more days. Yeah, because there's no one writing down. They're not writing down names. They're not writing down license plates. You can get away with it. Should you? That's up to you to decide. You have to make. That's 100% your decision. The sign on the dumpster that says no household trash only. So when you do your cleanup and you make dishes and cook your meal and you have cans, you put that in there and throw that in there. If you remodel, you come out here and you remodel your RV and you want to take all the stuff out and throw it in there and completely to fill up the RV with your remodel, don't do that. First, I'm paying for it, and so please don't do that. And it's just rude to everyone else to make them fill up the dumpster with something that doesn't belong in there. So just your normal household trash, as most of us minimize our trash because getting rid of it's such a pain. Minimize your trash and minimize your use of the dumpsters. Because there's a post office here in Quartzsite, you can get general delivery at the post office. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to get general delivery at the post office. If you're getting general delivery, I would suggest you get it out at Ehrenberg or even Baus. It will be faster to drive to Ehrenberg 20 miles away than to go to the post office here in town. So I would suggest you do that. Just because it's a nightmare. And as it gets closer to the big tent, it will become a hellish nightmare. And there's also a place in town called Quiet Times. And it's really important that you know about that. Quiet Times receives packages. Usually it's either $2 If she has to go to the post office and stand in line, I think she charges $5. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. But that's where I get all my packages when I am in Quartzsite, is at a little business called Quiet Times. You can Google it, and Mr. Google will take you right there. And she's a really, really nice lady, and really, really nice lady. So do business with Quiet Times. The question was, do I have to talk to her before you get the package? No, you can just, you should go there and get her card. Actually, I should get a stack of her cards. You get a card, and that will tell you exactly. You have to fill out the address exactly right, or you will not get the package. Here's the problem: Quartzsite does not have mail delivery. No one in Quartzsite gets mail delivered to their home. Everyone in town goes to the post office to get their mail, and so that makes the post office very, very busy. And that means if you order something from Amazon, they send it by mail, it goes to the post office. And for her to get it, she has to stand in line at the post office. She charges for the time it takes her to stand in line. So it's more for the post office than if they send it by UPS. I think we've covered it pretty well, haven't we? You people are kind and patient to waste all this time.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. And for more family fun, join us over on Patreon.